Gio here. I'm chilling with Dmo. Say hello to people, Dmo.
Yo, what's up, y'all? What's up, world?
What's up, world? We out here. Welcome to another episode of Waterbreak. We recapping week 2 of the NFL 2021 season. What you thought about this week?
Man, I'm just glad football back, man. I'm glad football back. I know it's week 2. It's early. I know we had a little bit of the preseason to kind of get ready for it. But I'm not surprised by a lot of these games and a lot of these teams. I mean, a lot of the same teams that I thought was going to, show up this week showed up. And a lot of the teams that ain't looked too good ain't looking too good.
How's your fantasy team, though?
Oh,
How was your fan? We're in the same league.
Yeah. So I got 2 leagues basically that's like intense leagues or leagues for money and stuff like that. One of them I'm doing terrible. I'm 0-2, and the other one I'm 1-1. So, and I got pretty much the same players in both leagues. It's crazy. I don't know how it worked out like that.
Man, I was supposed to win, and this nigga Derrick Henry had 80 fucking.
You played Derrick Henry?
Oh, yes, man. And I got my ass whipped by 60. But I don't want to talk about that.
I bet not, bro.
Yo, complete turnaround. I know. You know the crazy part? Last episode, I was talking shit about him. Like, oh, he didn't do shit. He didn't do shit. This episode, he took it out on me personally. He was like, this nigga in Chicago. Yeah, this nigga in Chicago playing me in fantasy football this week. I'm finna show his ass 3 rushing touchdowns, a gang of yards, gang of receiving yards. The man, he was a beast. He was a beast. He definitely was. It was a bunch of good games, though. That was a good game. Titans versus Seahawks. You had the Chiefs versus the Ravens. You had the Bears versus the Bengals. They got close at the end. Rams, Colts. You had the week started off with the Washington Redskins versus the New York Giants. And we also had
trash versus trash.
But then Sunday Night Football ended with Baltimore Ravens versus the Kansas City Chiefs. And I was going to ask you what was your game of the week, but I feel like that should be unanimous right there. It was like 2 niggas playing Madden.
Man, it was amazing, man. I loved watching that game. I caught most of the end of it. So it was just like, man, like just seeing them going back and forth and then seeing the actual defense come up with the play that won the game. That was exciting too.
You know, I love defense, and it was crazy because I was thinking about the first game. It always happens. It's 2 good Thursday night games in a week. This was the Bum Bowl, and I always love the Bum Bowl. It was
definitely the Bum Bowl, bro.
The Giants versus the Redskins, but like the Ravens and the Chiefs, that was just phenomenal QB play, phenomenal defense, even though it didn't seem like it, but it was just such good quarterback play that they did what they had to when they had to. You know, the Ravens came out with that victory. What was your top play of the week?
Man, I mean, we just talked about that game of the week. I think the play of the week had to come from that game too. I mean, that defensive stop at the end, forcing that fumble. That was a big play, man. That might have been, to me, one of the biggest plays of the week.
That fumble definitely was.
It changed the game.
It changed the game. There's like so many different plays in that game that like, oh my God, like the run that Lamar Jackson did, when he did the flip in the end zone. You got Patrick Mahomes throwing these absurd passes. Like, did you see when he threw the ball like down the middle to the wide receiver? Like, there was no way he was supposed to catch that. He caught that shit. Like, it was no way he was supposed to make that throw. Like, how, like, that precision is like crazy right there. It's like a play in Madden, you know?
Yeah, we might be watching or what did they say for LeBron? Witnessing the greatness, witnessing it now, and in its entirety now. I mean, seeing him, Patrick Mahomes, do what he do, man, it's amazing to watch. He definitely looked like one of the greatest passers already ever. So it's crazy.
Who would you say was the best team of the week?
My best team of the week, I'm gonna have to go with the Rams, man. Their defense is exciting. Seeing Aaron Donald keep doing what he's doing, and then Jalen Ramsey showing people that he's probably the best DB out there, man. He's just electrifying to watch, man. Seeing him all over the field, you don't really want to throw his way, but when you do, you see him deflecting a pass or getting an interception. It's just been exciting watching him and the defense. And then the fact that Matthew Stafford, I just watched his ex team look terrible out there, going through two quarterbacks, and they look like the Lions. They look like the Detroit Lions tonight, and they looked like it last week too. So yeah, I would have to say just seeing the Rams kind of come together and making the offense look a little bit better as well. Defense, offense, special teams, all three phases, they just look good.
I have to say the Bills because they had a shutout win. I know they played the Dolphins, but still, they bounced back from losing to the Steelers last week, and they played a perfect game. 35 points, gave up 0 points. I mean, you gotta give it to them. I gotta crown them the team of the week. You know what I'm saying? It was more impressive teams. The Bears, our Bears, their defense was just killing my backup QB on my team. They're like, 3 pricks? They made Charles Tillman proud that day. I'm telling you, there was, the Panthers, woo! Jameis Winston, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde on them, you know what I mean?
Last week man. Amazing
golden child. This week, 1 touchdown,
That's terrible, bro. That's terrible.
But
terrible.
Yeah, I gotta give it to the Bills this week. On the flip side, though, who was the worst team you've seen this week?
Man, I have to say the Pittsburgh Steelers, man. It was rough seeing them lose another one, man. The offense just don't seem in whack. The defense don't seem like how they seemed last year. And I want to say this. I feel like this needs to be said. It is early in the season. What did Aaron Rodgers say last week? It's 1 game, but it's been 2 games now that they didn't look terrible. But it's early in the season. I will say that it's 2 weeks into the season, so I don't want to just count them out just yet. But they do not look good, and I'm feeling a little scared for my man Mike. Man, he needs to be a little worried, man.
I really enjoyed that game this week because Ben Roethlisberger is on my shit list, and he's been a bad quarterback for like the last 5 years. I didn't like what he was saying about Antonio Brown either, so that's like I'm happy watching the sink. I wish Mike Tomlin the best. Maybe he can get another quarterback in the off season or something like that. I don't know. I don't know to tell you, but like Big Ben has really been Little Ben, Old Ben, the Crescent Ben for like the last 5 years or so.
It's crazy. They blamed it so much on the last couple of years, or really just last year, that the running game wasn't there, and then they went and got Najee Harris or whatever and think, oh, okay, he gonna be the difference. And that's what I was waiting on. I'm like, man, they got a running back now. They gonna have no excuses. They gonna come out firing. They was good on defense last year. It really was just the offense that was crappy. But it's not happening. Not yet.
Who would you say was the worst player of the week?
Player-wise, man, I hate to have to say this, man, because it's my Bears. But I just was expecting a little bit more out of Justin Fields when he came out. I wouldn't say he was the worst player. I'll say maybe I got to change the question, change the narrative a little bit. The most disappointed. I just expect a little bit more excitement out of him. He threw the pick. He only had 60 yards. He really didn't complete. I think he completed less than half of his passes. So I was a little disappointed at that. Again, it was his first, time really having consistent reps in the game, in an actual game and not a preseason game. So I'm waiting to see. Maybe, hopefully, Andy Dalton don't play next week. Get to see, him come out and start, and maybe see a difference out of him.
No, I've been saying from the start, he need to sit his ass on the bench and learn. Like, he need to sit his ass on the bench and learn. Tom Brady sitting on the bench and learn. Aaron Rodgers sitting on the bench and learn. He can sit on the bench and learn. For me, I have to say the referees, because they were out their mind, bro. They called back so many touchdowns, reversed so many plays that shitted on a team's momentum. That pass interference called on the Bears, I mean, like, he just pushed them and then, like, at the line of, like, that was crazy. Like, how do you call that? The taunting call when they were just clapping? Like, they said it was more taunting penalties this week, not year, this week than last year.
The whole year last year. That's crazy.
They was off their rocker, bro. I'm gonna go from that to the worst play. The worst play I saw this week was definitely my man Justin Herbert from the Chargers. This man froze. I ain't never seen a quarterback just freeze. He stepped the ball and then he just froze. He couldn't find out who to pass the ball to and just start running backwards. And then he threw. It should have been grounded, but they called it a sack. I don't know which one was worse.
And I have to say my worst play was the fact that the Giants was dumb enough at the end of the game to get an offsides called on them right before fucking the dude missed the field goal. That was terrible. That was the worst play of the whole week, man. I don't know what he was thinking. And then all of a sudden, they moved 5 yards closer, and this dude hit the game-winning field goal, all because of a dumbass offsides, man. Feel sorry for them Giants fans out there.
Feel sorry for that, man.
Second City who?
Hey, Dmo, so next week, which game are you looking forward to the most?
I got to say the Colts and Titans, man. I want to see that interdivision match going, man. Both teams, I feel like, are powerful teams. It'd be good teams this year. I know the Colts is coming off a tough loss. And then the Tennessee Titans just had a big win. So I'm really looking to see, who come out firing. If the Colts gonna come out and try to step on them early, shut down the run, and then probably shut down Julio because he had a big game this week too. So yeah, I'm really excited about that game.
I'm excited about Rams versus Bucks. That's a mid game too. I hope I get that game. Both teams undefeated. Someone got to lose. 2 teams in it. 1 team leave. 2 teams in it. 1 team leave. I'm ready for that. I am
Unless
ready
they come out with a tie, bro.
Another game I was looking forward to is Seahawks versus the Vikings. Seahawks, they lost their first home opener in like 12 years this week. And the Vikings, they last 2 games, they lost by a combined 4 points. So they are itching. They're at the bottom of the division, while our Bears are at the top for number 1 right now. So if the Seahawks and Russell Wilson can, finish them off, that'd be good.
That'd be perfect. And I'm a big Russell fan, so you know what I'm saying? Let Russ cook.
But that's all I got, Dmo. You got anything you want to say to the people?
Nah, man. Let's keep watching these Bears, man. Hopefully they keep going in the right direction, man. Like I said, hopefully Justin Fields start next week. I'll be excited to see that game too.
All right, everybody. This is D-Mob. You can catch him on Instagram at DMob1127. I'm Gio. You can catch the show on OG Sports Culture on Instagram and Twitter. And you can catch us on Facebook at Open Gym Sports and Culture. Go on to YouTube and write Open Gym Sports and Culture too to see the plethora of videos we got. Or you can type in OGSC Waterbreak to see, we've been doing this thing for a while now. You can want to hear some podcast form. No worries. Check out Ball Chicago Sports. Next week, Dmo, say bye to the people.
Later, y'all.
Peace.